comrades, Commissar Bro here today with Making History, the Great War. That's right, and I'm playing the 1912 scenario. This game recently was released, as in today, and I figured, why not give it a shot? So here I am, playing it. Or at least I will attempt to. Again, I've never played this game before, but I have, what's the word? I have experience in, the old Making History, so I'm very familiar with that. However, I expect that this is probably going to be a challenge, considering I have no clue what I'm doing. But at the same time, I figure it's a great way for us to learn together. I'm already not a huge fan of the new UI, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. As you can see, apparently there's money now. Well, there was money before, but it's a little different. We can see up here, this is clearly our resources. Coal, metals, oil, food, money. What is this? This is fuel, I suppose, for our armies. Arms, I'm sure, yep. And gas shells, okay. Shipping capacity, rail capacity, and road capacity. Well, I imagine that's not very well. Well. So what should we start off doing? Your guess is as good as mine. There's nothing here that really gives you an in-depth look at, what specific buildings do, which is kind of a bummer, considering before, it was pretty straightforward what everything did. However, I can see here, clicking on a province where it says no orders, I can see where clearly I can, build farms, trench works, fortresses, so on, to improve not only my infrastructure, but my food production, and so on and so forth. In the current state of affairs, I think it's probably a good idea to get our resource production under control, because it is absolutely ridiculous that we have no resources. Yet it seems like we have a pretty good amount of money. So, where to start? Well, I guess we'll go ahead and let's see. There, resource. Let's expand output. We're definitely going to do that. I guess we'll prospect in this area, even though I see it right there. Whatever. We're going to expand output here as well. Honestly, most of these places we're going to expand output. And I wonder if there's a way, yep, there is, to just do it, without having to go through all of the trouble of doing it one by one. So we're going to do that. It's obviously going to cost us a lot of money to pull this off, but damn it, we're going to do it. We are going to get some serious production in this biznitch if I have my say in the matter. Yes. No, don't reduce. Prospect. Expand, so on. Well, we have a lot of cities to go through, so I'm going to kind of skip through this. Alright, so now that we've got our whole resource list down, let's take a look at infrastructure. Infrastructure is tricky, but I think we need to focus on getting money, not money, but food, so that our people don't starve to death, because that would be terrible. The problem with that, well, actually no, these particular open field farms that I'm building don't actually cost anything aside from cash. And some of these areas need to be paved. We can't be running around here with unpaved junk. Good goodness, what is this nonsense? Closed farms. Let's definitely do some unpaved roads there. Enclosed, and it seems like we have a fuck ton of regions. Literally, look at all of these regions. This is huge. I feel like that's kind of a complaint I'm going to have now, as it seems like there's no quick way to do it. I imagine, I am playing as the largest land country in the entire game. Let's be honest here. This is the entire, Russian Empire that I'm messing around with here. This isn't like a smaller area like Germany, Austro-Hungary, or, Romania, or any of them. I imagine it would be a lot more bearable to actually go through one of their resource production screens. So yeah, we'll not focus too much on that. Let's focus instead on what we can build. So production, cities, And I wish it gave you more specifics as to what each building did. I mean, it's clear that, building a university is going to... God, there's so much stuff. Look at that. Marine supplies, machine tools, aircraft parts, textiles. This is definitely a completely different game than what I'm used to playing. I mean, I know Making History 2 was kind of going in a particular direction as well, with adding all this stuff in, and I wasn't a giant fan of it at all, to be honest. But this doesn't seem half bad. I'm not hating it, that's for sure. But I think it's going to take a little bit of time for me to become comfortable with this particular game and the way it plays. Let's take a look at Moscow. Moscow should be our most industrious city, aside from maybe St. Petersburg, which is our capital. And let's see. We have an aircraft hangar, mechanized mill, shipyard, so on and so forth. Let's build a... I don't know. What does a power station do? I feel like that's a problem I already kind of have with this game, is it doesn't tell you what anything is. That's kind of an issue, because it's like, how am I supposed to know what to build and what not to build if it doesn't tell me what things are? So I guess I just have to take their word for it. Metalwork, I'm sure, provides steel, or maybe even ironworks. Well, I guess ironworks would I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I should have played the tutorial. Maybe, but why would I do that? Where's the fun in it? There's no fun if you're not jumping in, unsuspected. Let's build a tool factory. That sounds important. Let's put our fleets. As we can see, we have our little fleets. I remember in the old games, that would actually affect your arms and whatnot, or your supply rate to any degree. So we're going to move all that stuff back into our base. I know we have one up here in the Gulf of Finland. So let's go ahead and put that into St. Petersburg. And hopefully we'll get some sort of resources out of not using them like that. What else should we do? I feel like maybe we should move some of our armies to the front lines. You never know. Germany might decide that it's time to bring Russia down, and we don't want that to happen now, do we? No, we do not. So we're going to move all of our current armies to the front line. Oh, yes, move by rail. Definitely move by rail. Sweet. Okay, well, that's cool. So they move faster because they're going through rail systems. Yes, I like that. I like that very much. I do indeed. Let's take a look and see what else we got. We do have our armies down here on the borders of Turkey. Oh, look at these guys! All this detail. I like the amount of detail in all the different unit models. They've clearly put a lot of love into that particular aspect of the game. That's really cool. What else can we do? I guess we can build a power station, and let's build a mill. I imagine that would increase my industrial capacity. I'm used to playing the games where essentially building industrial capacity, quite literally, rather than being so so specific, which this game is clearly incredibly specific in terms of what does what. I guess it's mildly unnerving. It's overwhelming to a degree, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because more detail can be really a good thing for many games indeed. And what the hell is going on over here? Why I'm not at war with them, am I? I don't think so. No, they're unallied. Trade access treaties with Russia. That's weird that I own this particular area of land, like literally cuts right through it. It shows it as Chinese. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I know that the Russo-Sino War, I think, just happened a few years prior to the start date. So, I can imagine tensions are still pretty high with Japan after so soon of a war, but I don't know. Let's just stop talking and end our first turn and see what happens, why don't we? Well, let's move these guys to the front as well. Yeah, move by road. Alright, let's end this turn. Ending turn. Beautiful! So we did our first turn in Making History, the Great War. And I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Kaitsu Bay. No active research project. Our research facilities are waiting on government orders. Financial aid canceled from France to Russia. Oh, well, that's a shame. Metals trade agreement between the United States and Russia has been canceled. The United States supplies of metals is too low. I like how it's actually explaining this as well. That's really nice. You know, to give reasons why, oh, hey, we're going to stop buying coal from you because, oh, well, we don't have any to sell. That's nice to know. So I'm not being left out, you know, high and dry, not really knowing what's going on. What's going on, guys? Let's figure out how to see. Look, we can actually tell our factories what to build. Wow, this is crazy. This is far, far more in depth than the first. Definitely far more in depth than the first Making History, and maybe even more in depth than the second one, from all I can tell. This is interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder what this does. Cemented armor, gas turbine engine. It leads to armored cruisers. Aviation obviously leads to more airplane parts. Okay, well that's cool. Rigid airship and whatnot. I think I would go for heavy industry though. I'm a big fan of industry, so I feel like that would probably be a good idea. 30 research points. How much do we produce? Does it say that anywhere? I don't see it. Okay, you can tell I'm a complete and utter noob at this game. This is something else compared to what I'm used to. That is for sure. Oh, look, apparently Albania is at war with the Ottoman Empire. Abyssinia attacked the Dervish state in Ogaden. Huh. There's a lot going on in the world right now, isn't there? I love this diversity and all these different units. This is very interesting. Even if they all function the same and do the same amount of damage, it's really interesting that there's so many different unit models. There's all these different cultures. This is crazy interesting, and I'm very, very much enjoying this first impression. Considering I've not played this game. This is definitely the first time I've put my hands on it. So, you know, this is all really interesting to me, and I feel like this is going to have a very, what's the word I'm looking for, or phrase anyway. I feel like this is going to have a long run on my channel, just because it seems like it's going to be cool. Ooh, the German Reichstag has approved legislation to increase naval funding in a bid to make the Imperial German Navy the strongest in the world. This leads to increased tensions. Okay, well that's interesting. Oh, the Dervish state annexed British Somaliland and received 0 gold. The Dervish state took control of Sanag. Wow, there's a lot going on right now due to inefficient shipping capacity. And what I'm concerned about now is our total lack of metals, our total lack of oil, and our creeping on total lack of food. And even coal, man, this isn't good. It's not good at all. I guess we're going to have to rely on our prospecting and whatnot to actually end up giving us something good out of it. I hope we actually are able to make enough food as well, but these farms are going to take around 30 turns to build. And look, that mechanized farm is going to take 40. So, that could be bad. At least we're making fuel. On the bright side of things, we're actually making some fuel here. Well, I'm mildly overwhelmed. I'm not even going to lie. Not even going to act like it's not true, because I most definitely am. There's so much going on, and there's so much. It's just, it's way, way different than what I'm used to. And like I said, I feel like one turn could take an hour. The Bulgarian alliance was founded between who? The Kingdom of Serbia and Bulgaria. Interesting. Ballsy move. Ballsy move. Religious conversion. Wow. Wow. This is a whole different Making History. That's for damn sure. And look at that. There's actually fighting going on between the Turks and Albania. I wonder who's going to win. Right? Right? Yeah. I've got my money on the Turks, though, just being a larger size. But you never know. Maybe the Albanians. And who is this? Is this still the Yeah, that's still Albania. Huh. They might. You never know. You never know what might happen. It looks like it was Albania was the attacker, and it looks like they're not doing so well. 33% casualty rate. They're outnumbered and essentially outgunned. So, no good news for them, that's for sure. Oh, look, we can actually see that over 2 turns we've got 70% in heavy industry, so our research isn't that bad, I guess. It seems like it's pretty good. So far, so far. This is interesting. This is very interesting. This is far more of a geopolitical type simulator game than I've seen in a while. Like, you know, maybe Supreme Rule, Republic of Central America. Interesting. The Mongolians seek assistance in gaining international record for state independent of the Chinese. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Definitely agree with that. The Russian Empire expands influence in Outer Mongolia. Sweet. So what do I get out of that? Do I get something out of that? That's maybe something they can let us know. Diplomatic relations with the state of Mongolia. I guess that just means I can trade with them now. Well, good to have you, Mongolia. I'll definitely support your independence. Don't let China bring you down, buddy. Oh, China's actually looking pretty powerful over there. Not that bad. Well, they still have the 13th most powerful navy in the world. Or army in the world. That's not bad. 15th in production. 39. These other stats are kind of low, but these two, are very, very interesting. And it seems like our diplomatic relations are strained. This is about to be a lot of game to learn, and I think this is a good point to go ahead and end this particular at first impressions Let's Play. And I think this is something that I'm going to continue. I'm really interested to see in how it goes. I'm really interested to learn this game because it seems like there's a lot of depth and there's a lot of stuff going on compared to the little bit more faster paced Making History Gold and whatnot. So this is something I'm about to be incredibly interested in playing, and I hope you guys follow along too. So this has been Commissar Bro, and I will see you next time.